You startled me. No, I'll be fine in a minute. I just didn't expect you to sneak up on me like that is all. I am. When am I not? I tend to do a good job at it. Keeping myself busy, that is. Well, the hex tech won't maintain itself, you know. Honestly, I wish I could agree with you. But time waits for no man, and I would like to bleed every drop of opportunity out of mine. The few times I do allow myself to rest, I... Don't mind me. I seem to be losing my filters the more time I spend with you is all. Please. I'm sure you don't want to hear this. It would probably be better if I just kept this to myself. You drive a hard bargain. And if you wait right there, I can finish this in just a moment, and then I'll tell you. I need a bit of time to compose myself anyway. Let's see. Alright, you stupid piece of junk. What the fuck we do? And there we go. Now, about that thing that I mentioned. I should just tell you before I lose my nerve. I would never hear the end of it if Jace found out I was refusing support. So, I was going to say that when I do give myself the occasional break, I always end up feeling guilty. That must sound really bad. I know how you all feel about it. This is something that I've never quite been able to shake. But trust me, I am careful not to let it overwhelm me. I know that I am only human, and that I will inevitably need to rest somehow, to sleep or eat or decompress. It still bothers me to not be working towards something. Fair point. I'm working towards not keeling over. I suppose I walked right into that one. No, you're right. It just feels to me on a baser level that I'm not actually doing anything. And that bothers me. No, you're actually off base with that one. It's not only because I want to be accomplishing something and optimizing my time. Oh, well, feel like your brain is uncomfortable. And what I mean is physically uncomfortable. When I am understimulated, that's what happens to me. It feels like everything inside my skull has been replaced with an angry nest of hornets, and they all just keep knocking against it until all I can hear is white noise. And, well, by that point, I'll be taking far more time away from myself than I ever wanted to in the first place. So, I choose to avoid the discomfort and the wasted time, and try to manage my days so that I usually have something to occupy myself with. Does that make sense? Oh, well, I'm glad I'm not the only one then. Not that I wish for company in that misery, I only meant that it makes me feel like a bit less of an odd duck. Like it's something I actually have in common with others. I. That's true. Were I not so set in my ways, I might find that I have more in common with others than I would think. I. No, that's not exactly what I meant. I apologize if that was unclear. You just have a way of making me voice all the thoughts I usually keep to myself. Sometimes that means I'm not even sure how to put them into words. Let me try again. What I really mean is that I feel a lot more like a real person when I learn something like that. I feel less alone, even if I'm not necessarily interacting with other people. I'm speaking from experience. Social isolation can do a lot to someone. I am not so good at expressing my feelings. It's something I had to learn as a survival tactic, you know? And even in situations where it's uncalled for. Speaking about that, it makes me feel too exposed, too vulnerable, and that can sometimes still feel unsafe, even if logically I know that couldn't be further from the truth. Oh, well, it was a bit different with Jace. His vision inspired me and ended up prying open my defenses before I even realized it. Before I knew it, I was prattling on about his project, how we could adapt it, breaking into the professor's office. I honestly don't think I would have ever been that bold if Jace hadn't lit that spark in me. You almost know me better than I know myself. It's true, I was never one to be the most subtle in my actions, no matter how many words I refrained from sharing. Actions do speak louder than words. Here's hoping I use that power wisely. You might have a little too much faith in me there. Do you even realize how much of a gamble that stunt really was? Hmm. No, I suppose that didn't bother me enough to keep me from participating. Oh, it was my idea. And where Did you hear that? Oh, loudmouth. Well, he is. Just a bit. Mm-hmm. What is it? Did my hand bruise again? Oh, alright. I'm listening. What is it you want to say so badly? Um, no, you didn't say anything bad. Far from it. That might actually be a problem. Is it worrisome that I feel like it's wrong to be told that by someone else? Uh, I'm serious. I really don't let myself overindulge in anything like that. And I I don't know. I don't necessarily feel incomplete without it. Self-care, huh? Am I really that bad? That it seems like I'll self-destruct at a moment's notice if I don't take more time off? Oh, no, go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt. Well, yes, that is a bit of a new concept to me. I don't really know what you mean by that. Mm, I suppose Progress Day was celebrating Jace, yes. You know, I don't think that comparison helps as much as you thought it would. What would celebrating myself look like? Beyond self-care. Alright. Would you care to elaborate? Well, I would think I should still remain fairly modest. I wouldn't want to lose sight of my goals even if I were to. That's in my job description, don't you think? This may sound a bit self-congratulatory, but I'm not sure where we would be if I didn't overthink things. One of us has to. Fine. No excuses. No, you won't hear any more complaints from me. But I would appreciate a bit more direction. I don't do much outside of work besides reading a bit here and there. Oh, you've made a list. A, a mental list, yes. It's still a list. Hmm. Alright. I I suppose there are several things there that, even on most days, I could consider paying more attention to. Alright, you need to slow down. I'm not even ready to hear the word holiday, let alone think about taking one for myself. What do you think I would even do anyway? No, you're right. I said it before. No more complaints. Yes, I'm fine. I may not be showing it very well, but I really don't mind you letting me know how I can improve. So, by all means, please continue. I. Huh. No, I just. I don't think I've ever heard anyone say that to me. At least not so bluntly. It's alright. That was very sweet of you, actually. No, I'm not really accustomed to people being so warm towards me. Usually, I would just rather be spared the potential disappointment of speaking with others and just watch Jace from the sidelines. Don't misunderstand me. I do enjoy watching him have a good time. It does me good to see others hold pleasant conversations that put smiles on each other's faces. I just. I may have. If I may confess something, I may have been so concerned that someone else's first reaction to me would be hurtful that I never considered what I could be missing. Thank you for understanding that and being so patient with me. I doubt it's easy working so hard to earn my trust like that. I feel a bit badly about it, to be honest. I know. I'll try to be better about that. I'll try not to feel like I should be overanalyzing every situation like that. Never mind the fact that I tend to come to the conclusion that I must have done something wrong. Socialization was never my strong suit. But thanks to a few select colleagues, I'm learning. Why not? Yes, bring Sky around too when she has the time. I know that I haven't been particularly cordial in the face of her pleasantries, but I think I would like to change that. Hmm? What is it? Ah, stick with it. I think I can manage. However, I will do my best to pick myself up if I find that I'm slipping back into old ways. If I'm going to have friends, and ones that look out for me so well at that, I want to be the kind of friend I would like them to have. Even if that means going against how I've programmed myself to behave. It might be optimal for productivity, but for having a social life, not so much. I suppose we've gotten this far. Why not? We can set up a luncheon with everyone here in the lab. Yes, some afternoon this week should be fine. Of course I'll be there. I'm almost always working, and once everyone files in, especially you, I will have no choice but to join in. It would also just be incredibly rude of me to set this up and just disappear. I, we can all handle bringing our own lunches, can't we? It'll just be a more structured lunch break than usual. Usually sandwiches. Why? You want to... You know, I think there's less of a chance of me blowing something up in the lab than in the kitchen. Are you sure you're prepared for that? I'm not exactly exaggerating. The most successful dish I've made that actually involved cooking was some very unimpressive scrambled eggs. I wasn't even able to find the salt and pepper. Oh well, things get misplaced, you know? Once I realized I had no clue where they were, the eggs were already on the stove, and I didn't want to burn a third meal that week. I get lost in my thoughts. You know this. It is not a revelation. Alright. I suppose it is a bit embarrassing that I won't make anything more adventurous myself. Fine. You bring your recipe book. Maybe next weekend we can work something out. Especially if the weather pans out the way it's supposed to. Well, a power outage at the lab isn't exactly conducive to getting any work done. If we time it right, we might have a great excuse just to not show up during the storm. If we haven't been told to go home anyway. Well, it's supposed to pass by fairly quickly. So long as no pipelines are disrupted, I'd say we have a good chance of being able to crank up the gas on the stove without issue. If not, we can always plan to have groceries from the market for something cold, if that helps. What? I'm smiling? Oh. I didn't realize. What do I want to try? Is this something I should be able to answer right away? I admit I've never given much thought to the luxury of choice in regards to my meals. Well, I suppose I could point out some of the things you regularly bring in. There's that, bagel sandwich. Yes, I have more than that, thanks. I like the smell of that mixture you keep in those little containers. You usually spread that on toast or something. Egg and potato salad. Huh. A staple, eh? I don't think I've even really thought about what staples I could keep in my diet other than general food groups and simple lunch meat. I could do with broadening my horizons. This is probably something that has been a long time coming anyhow. Jay said that? When... Is that true? When did he even ask me? Oh. Oh. Yes, I have a strong feeling that they may not have actually been listening. I'll have to apologize. It's just, when I keep hearing the same things over and over, and my responses are ignored, it feels more like I'm being talked at than to, so it's very easy to drown out. But the more I think about it, the more I realize if multiple people are constantly hounding me to do something other than work, there must be a good reason as to why. I'll just leave it at that so I can keep my mind open. Jace and I are a match in more attributes than one, but I'd say our stubbornness is at the top of the list. No, I'm not bragging about that. I think it's just a point to be made is all. You what? He owes you. You took bets on this? Well, suddenly I feel a lot less bad about my constant refusals. But I won't rescind my offers just because. Hypothetical money. To prove a point to Jace. Fine. Okay. It looks like you've outplayed us all. So what's your next move in this four-dimensional chess game? Are you going to put Jace and I against one another so you can take control of the project instead? No, I was kidding. I'm not very good at making jokes, am I? Perhaps I could work on that. You think so? If I do have one, it must be very dry. Jace has laughed with me, but I don't think I was at any time trying to be funny. Well, I suppose that's a problem for another day. Now, we both have taken our sweet time with this conversation, so I believe it's time for us to pick up the pace once more. Seriously? Alright. We can take a breather to simply exist and then slowly get back to work. Honestly, I have no idea what you've done to me. It feels like someone else is moving my lips. These aren't the words of any Viktor the others would recognize. That's... no, I just... that must be why you're all so pushy. And that's a sad way to live. No, it's fine. I'm fine. I just never realized how stark the double standard I hold is between myself and others. Others I would give everything for. Myself, right, not so much, huh? I could use a change, I think. More assertive. Then I could use a change. I I need a change. I can do this, especially as long as you're all cheering me on. I honestly don't know what I did to deserve any of you. Oh, just being myself is more than enough. I just don't hear that very often. I can't think necessarily of a time I ever did. Maybe I drowned out those words as well. Thank you. I mean it. I think I can also say that I'm genuinely looking forward to the next couple of weeks. Hey now, it may not be as complicated as Hex Tech, but there are different kinds of intelligence. It just seems like maybe you have me beat in this area. For now, at least. Alright, well, a few more minutes, and we can ease ourselves back into the work schedule. Thank you.